Welcome to Troy's Outdoor Pursuits and Projects. Today, we're going to make this into some of this. That's right, we're going to make breakfast sausage out of lamb. This is a Dorper Katahdin cross. It's a hair sheep, not a wool sheep like a Suffolk or Hampshire. A little bit different flavor, but as a little bonus, we're going to make this breakfast sausage out of casings, natural casings pulled from this sheep. So I've been processing sheep since I was pretty young, but it's funny, I'm just not that great at it. I tend to use a knife more than I need to, but maybe it's because these sheep are a little older than what most people butcher sheep at. But you can see this got a good layer of fat. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to video this part or not, but we're going to do it anyway, and we're going to open this guy up like a zipper and try not to pop the guts. What we're after here is the small intestines. All right. Okay, which leaves us with the guts. Okay, here comes the fun part. Now what we're looking for is the small intestine, which is what the casings are typically made out of. So we're just going to start grabbing and pulling here. Here we go. I mean, there's the casings right there. That's what we're going to use, but we've got a lot of cleaning to do. Keep working it loose. If it tears, you'll know it, because it'll be a mess. Stinky mess. And intestines, the contents of intestines are, they stink. But after you process these, there's no smell to them. In fact, if you do a little research, you'll find out that sheep casings were actually used as condoms by, I don't know, the Romans, the Greeks, I don't know. For all I know, they may still use natural sheep casings for condoms in some countries, or for people that have a lot of money to pay for that kind of thing. Pretty tough stuff. Okay. Oh, there we go. We hit the jackpot there. We got this. What we kept. Oh, I broke it. There we go. Now, that's what the blue bucket's for. So this blue bucket is what I'm going to squeeze the poop into. I've done this 5 times maybe, and it's interesting. Once it's done, once you have them prepared and cured and you store them in the freezer, they'll keep forever. I'm getting closer to a bigger end, so I am going to cut this. I'm going to cut this right here. Just because of the size, it's getting bigger than I want. So, all right. That's one piece, and we're going to let that hang off the side of the bucket. Now, eventually, I will probably cut these into 3... Hey, knock it off, you casing thief. Did you see that? That dog was trying to steal my casings. Sammy, what do you think you're doing? We're done with that part. So now, we're going to start, we're going to clean them out. Just get that over the end there. Hopefully that'll hold. And then I'm going to turn on the water and slowly. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? Isn't that just the coolest thing? You know, not too much pressure, because you can break them. And if you shake the bucket a little bit while you're filling it, it kind of helps it unfold like a, you know, like a kinked hose. That's working nicely. Oh, see, there's the end. You can see the end of the hose running clear water. If I can grab it, it's like a snake. Slippery snake. There we go. Look at that. I could probably drink that water. So I'm going to say that's good. Now that that one's cleaned off that much on the inside, we're just going to kind of start trying to get a little more of this fat and stuff off before we put it in the white bucket. Don't ask me why I prefer natural casings to synthetic casings or collagen casings, but I do. I think they just have they just kind of pop. Like, see this membrane right there? That probably will come right off. Well, it will when we scrape it, but there's that a tapeworm. Now, I promise if you've eaten casings before, you've eaten casings that had tapeworms in them. No, it's not. It's just something inside I don't know what it is. All right. Didn't mean to gross you out or anything, but such is life on the farm. Really. But anyway, I just like the way casings pop when you bite into the sausage. Nice, like a nice grape. I love grapes that pop. I got a couple blocks of wood, and I don't know if this will work, but it might. Also, yeah, it is. It's peeling off quite a bit, actually. I also might tear them. Might tear the casing. Oh, this is working pretty good, actually. I kind of like this. Nothing any true country person probably hasn't done in the past. Oh, my casing cleaners, they float too. That's just an extra bonus there. Hey, if any of you have done this before, and there's you got any pointers, like things I'm doing wrong, or just better ways to do it, I'd love to hear your ideas, and so would everybody else. Okay, there's the casings. We're going to fill them up with cool water, and we're going to throw a bunch of salt in there just to keep them preserved, but I don't know how many feet there are. I'm not going to be able to measure them, but that's the start. And then I'll mix the water up a little bit while I'm dealing with the rest of this carcass. Well, it's several hours later. I've been working on other projects, and I figured I'd get back to these casings. So I pulled the casings one more time between my thumbnail and index finger, cleaned them up a little bit more, dropped them in this bowl of salt water, and they've been sitting in the refrigerator. So got some simple tools here. Butter knife, I got a couple different ones. I got this little scraper here, pretty flexible. And I got some scissors, and that's about it. I'm going to pull me a piece about 4 feet long, and I'm going to cut it. Just going to use different tools here, see which one works best. I think I'll probably use this knife. And I'm just going to start scraping them. And you're just basically pushing all that stuff that still might be on the inside or outside of the casing out to the end. Just cleaning it out one more time. Now, the first time I prepared casings, I actually turned the casings inside out. But these don't look that bad. They don't have a thick membrane on the inside or the outside. So I think that's probably good enough. So now I'm going to bring it over here. I got a bowl of salt water. I've just got a piece of tubing attached to my sink in my garage. And there you go. See it fill up with water? So we're going to flush it out one more time. before we drop it in the last bath of fresh salt water. Squeeze all that fresh water out. It's got no smell to it. We'll drop it in this super salty water and call it good. Let's try the scraper. This is way easier to control. As long as it does a good job, I think I might like the scraper. It's been a long time since I've done this, so I don't really remember my preferred method. But as long as you get them pretty clean, you know. And you know what? That stuff right there, that's kind of gross, but probably tastes good to some people. I don't think I'd care for it. And I'll go over this more when I actually start grinding the meat. But I said 100% lamb. I can't argue with anybody that claims that breakfast sausage will always taste better with the addition of pork fat. You know, if you're using, say, deer or, it doesn't matter, deer or lamb or whatever, some other kind of meat other than pork. It's pretty well recognized that pork fat is the fat to use to make it taste more like the breakfast sausage that we are used to. I can't argue with that. But I really like 100% lamb breakfast sausage using lamb fat. I've just made some really good sausages that way, and it just means I don't have to buy anything because I don't raise pigs, and they don't give away they don't give away anything anymore. Well, I think you get the idea. So I'm not going to bore you with any more of this. I'm just going to keep on cleaning casings until they're all done. Okay, that really didn't take that long. I'm going to show you the aftermath now. So here's our pile of leftovers. Some good broth for some camp sausage for those who care to enjoy it. And then here's the clean casings. So, you know, those look pretty good. Ziploc bag with salt in it, non-iodized salt. And I'm just going to kind of squeeze the water out of them and make a little pile here. It probably doesn't matter if they have a little water in them, but we'll just put in a few at a time. These get tangled really easy, and I'm sure there's a good way to keep them from getting tangled, but when you go to reuse them, you're going to drop them back in water again and reconstitute them, and they kind of untangle on their own, especially in only 4-foot lengths. Move it or squish it around a little bit, and that's it. That's going in the freezer. So there you have it. I don't know when I'll get around to grinding that sheep. Hope probably in a week or so. I'm going to let it hang for a while. Not that it needs to, but just because I don't have time. And we'll make some sausage. Okay. I'll be making this sausage out of mostly shoulder meat. I like to try to separate the fat from the meat so I can get a good weight on or percentages on fat to meat. So I'm just kind of cut off a good portion of the fat to start with. And I've already cut the fat off the rest of the carcass, or most of the fat off the rest of the carcass. I'll be making it into chops and leg of lamb and so on, but this shoulder will be, 2 shoulders will be sausage. soup bone. Sausage meat. 6 pounds. Okay, I'm sure I'll pull a lot more of scraps off the carcass to add to that, but that's a good start. But it's time to start grinding meat and making sausage. I would not normally break this grinder out for doing a 12-pound batch of sausage. I had plans to do about 60 pounds of lamb and deer, but as it ended up, I didn't have as much lamb as I thought I did, so I'm gonna have to postpone making hamburger and kielbasa till after I butcher another lamb. Anyway, we've got about 9 pounds of lamb meat here and about 3 pounds of lamb fat. You can do the math on that. I think it's 25% fat. I got my spices all mixed up. This is the recipe I'm using. You want to freeze frame this, you're welcome to it. It's nothing special. It's just a breakfast sausage recipe I found online. I've used it before. It seemed to work pretty good. So I got to start cutting this meat up so we can put it in the grinder. So let's get going on that. Okay, I'm using a 3/8 grinding plate for this. That's pretty coarse. I might run it through again after I mix the spices. So I'm going to dump this in the bucket, and okay, I'm going to switch out to a smaller grinding plate just because that's the norm for breakfast sausage. I've been using this 3/8 plate, and I'm going to go with whatever that is, 1/8 inch, 3/16. I think it's 3/16. But this is what I got. Okay, now I'm gonna mix all the spices in here. Just hand mix it, and then we're gonna add 20 ounces of water. I think I am going to run this through the grinder first and put the water in afterwards. I am going to cook a little bit of this up and give it a little taste test while it's in the refrigerator. Okay, I just did my taste test and I decided to add another tablespoon of rub sage, half a teaspoon of red pepper, and a little bit of cayenne for my wife's request. We've got our extra spices here. We're going to kind of sprinkle them in. Let's pour this 20 ounces of water in. And this just basically, it makes it the consistency we need to be able to push it into the casings. We got our casings from the other day. We're just going to drop them in this this bowl of warm water. Let them thaw. Okay, we're getting down to the tedious part. And that is separating these casings. So we got to get them pulled apart here, and then you got to tie a knot in one end, and I'll do what I think might be called a double overhand knot. Once you get the knot tied in it, drop the casing back in the bowl and just let the edge hang over the side. So that's what we got. It's like, so you can see that. It's just like a bowl full of lamb gut spaghetti. But, yeah, just is what it is. All right, okay, we got our pot of meat here.
And then we're just gonna stuff the sausage stuffer. And this is this is about the cheapest stuffer you can get. And it works really good. It's a 5-pound stuffer. I think that's great for a homeowner. I'm not making massive amounts of sausage. Like, this is probably the most breakfast sausage I've ever made. I hope I like it. I gotta tell you, this lamb was a little gamey to me. Odor-wise, the flavor's great, but it's just got a little bit of odor that I'm not used to. I don't know if it's just because it's a weather, or because it was a little older, or something that's eaten, or maybe I dropped the ball. Most basketball players wouldn't even get that joke. But anyway, to me, it smelled a little gamey. But it tastes great. It all eats the same. My wife loves it. Actually, she said on the test piece, she said, it's missing something. And then she said, it's the best sausage you've ever made. I thought that was pretty funny. You need a little water on this. You need a little water on the stuffing tube. And there's a trick to this. And now I got it started. You gotta use a lot of water. Water gives it lubrication, kind of helps it keeps it from sticking. And I'm just sliding that casing up the stuffing tube. Oh, this is so much fun. I wonder how long they trimmed their condoms, their sheep casing condoms in the old days. This would be a pretty long condom. Not that that really has anything to do with sausage, but okay. So here we go. I'm gonna start cranking this slowly and hope that the casing doesn't break. Don't want to crank it too hard. Grass-fed, homegrown sheep sausage. All right. Now I'm going to tie this off. This end's harder to tie than the other end. Ooh, I got it. Part. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Pretty nice piece of sausage, huh? Now, if I was really good at this, they would all be exactly the same length. But I'm not really good at it because I'm just an amateur. And if I don't know if you see what I'm doing there, but I'm twisting these. You're supposed to be able to, I suppose I probably stuffed it too tight because you're supposed to be able to just kind of flop them, flop a section over to get the links to twist. But I'm just afraid it'll break, so I'm not going to do that. And yeah, these will be a little bit irregular because I'm an amateur, but you know, that'll work, huh? Not bad for my first little batch of sausage. All right, let's do another one. If they made condoms out of sheep casings in the old days, I bet they had a lot of unwanted pregnancies because these are really hard to find the opening. I could just imagine in the heat of the moment. Might not work out so well. This one's kind of grainy. I don't know if you remember me mentioning some of the casings were a little different depending on what part of the intestine it was. This one just feels a little grainy. It's tough though, feels tough. I wonder if it's got holes in it. That one didn't seem to appear to have any holes at all. I don't know if you can see that or not. We'll get that in the picture. I want you to be able to see those beautiful sausages. All right, let's get to cranking. You know, gosh, this reminds me of like one of the only other jokes I've ever remembered in my life. This this woman seduced this man, and after they were done, she looks at him and she says, "What are we going to name the baby?" This is an old joke, by the way. She says, "What are we going to name the baby?" And he says, "What baby?" And she says, "The baby I'm going to have. We're pregnant." And he pulls the condom off. He ties it in a knot, and he holds it up and he says, "If he can get out of that, we'll name him Houdini." That's an old joke. Oh, some of you don't even know who Houdini. Oh, I just broke one. Here I am telling jokes, telling clean, wholesome family style jokes, and I break a casing. Slide that Jimmy on, like so. It's working really good. Okay, give it a little more water. Start cranking. Slide this up here so I don't get it too tight. Oop, that's too loose. You would think it would be easier than it is, but I guess picture trying to tie a noodle in a knot. Not bad. Oh, whoa. There she is. That's one lamb guts worth of casings and homemade hair sheep sausage. Can't wait to try some. Okay, let's get this stuff vacuum packed and see how much we got weight wise. Sure looks good. Looks like we got about 8.5 pounds, if I did my math right. We'll be eating some for breakfast, so we'll check it out then. Oh, here goes. That's good. I think I even got the spice right.
Do you think it's better than with more spices?
Yeah, this is good. This is really good. This is really good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope if you've got sheep that you give it a try sometime yourself. This turned out really, really good. I love it. It is the best sausage I've ever made. So thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe. Hope you see you on the next one.